Oh my God, welcome to our channel if you're new to it, and welcome to our review of episode 4 of Killing Eve.
This is Nanny Di.
Hello. In case you're new to the channel.
In case you're new to the channel, she's my mother.
I'm his mother.
So they say. Killing Eve episode 4, season 2. I was really impressed with last week's show.
Loved it.
We loved
and the week before.
And the week before. We loved the reintroduction of Constantine. We thought Villanelle was taking things to a new level. We liked the idea of threading through the new murderess. Mm-hmm. We assume she's a murderess, though we have no reason to think she is one.
Mm-hmm. Of course she is.
Yeah, but nothing has overtly said she's a woman.
Except as she walks away. You keep seeing her walking away from
Well, no, and people have said it was a woman. No, we must pause because also she came and she did the pedicure. She was a podiatrist.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. We definitely know it's
all right, so we know she's a woman. So we like the fact that she's called the Ghost. We like the fact that she's just sort of leaving carnage in her wake, and this is introducing an element of competition.
Yeah. I must say, I think it's odd the way they keep saying, "Oh, it's been painless, it's been bloody." Very strange for a murder, for a psychopath, for an assassin. Yeah, whereas actually, I don't agree with that. I think of an assassin normally as doing so. The silent gun, out, gone, yes. No mess, no fuss. Villanelle is making us think that an assassin.
Yeah, but that's why they're saying it, because we're thinking along with Villanelle and Eve, aren't we?
Yeah, but even separately, they keep on saying, which makes me think, what is that? They keep saying, it's very strange. It was painless, it was this, it was that. Beyond, they know now it's not Villanelle, not within the discussion of whether it's Villanelle, but they just are making quite a thing of it, so I'm just interested to see why.
Well, I'll tell you what I find odd about all of that altogether is that psychopathy usually is attached to, so many serial killers are silent and quiet and not interested in great big grand gestures of, some aren't, but some are.
Assassin, because you think of an assassin as being quiet and they want to just get out. It's not about inflicting pain.
But isn't that the problem with Villanelle? She is an assassin and she's over-egging her role. And she's bleeding,
that's why she's out.
No pun intended, she's bleeding beyond the parameters of what an assassin does, doesn't she? She's enjoying it too much, she goes a bit too far.
She's a show-off.
And she leaves a mess everywhere.
She's a big show-off, pick your nose and blow off.
Show-off, yeah, so the bigger mess she leaves, the more she's happy.
Have you had periods in your life, Mum, where you've been a bit of a psychopath?
Yes.
Could you have killed people?
Shut up, I can't answer that.
No, I think you could have done. No. I think you might have done.
I think most people have a point in their life, will have somebody that's passed through their life where they go, oh God, I can just kill him.
Yeah. See, my problem with this, we watched this episode last night, and my problem with this episode, I thought it got going in a very sort of clumsy, sort of non-specific sort of way. I think the joy of these shows is that they sort of every episode, when at its best, is like a coiled spring, and quite a meticulously coiled spring. Whereas as each spring comes uncoiled and it starts to blow, all the parts of it, like a very complex jigsaw puzzle, sort of fly. And I thought this was a really, if I have to say, I thought from the start, we had Zoe Wanamaker, as you rightly said, freaking out. But it felt like just a woman of a certain age was put in and cast to freak out.
She's friends with Fiona Shaw. They all got a bit chummy.
Did you feel Zoe Wanamaker and Fiona Shaw?
Well, I'm a fan of Zoe Wanamaker because I think she's a brilliant actress, and I loved the scene. I loved this scene. I love Zoe Wanamaker. I think she's a great actress, and I loved the scene if you took it out and you just stood it by itself. But I get what you mean. That's what it felt like. It just come out of nowhere. Let's have another comical, crazy woman who swears and screams and shouts. Though I did find it amusing.
Look up there, babe.
Sorry, though I did find it amusing.
I didn't.
What?
It annoyed me.
Yeah, so tell us why.
Well, because it so clearly was, we're not going to see the woman again. Fiona Shaw was magnificent, as she is being all the way through this, silent. And I don't think it deserved what she was giving it, to be honest.
Oh, I think we are going to see her again.
No, I do. Yeah,
it was the setup scene. Zoe wouldn't have just come in and just done one.
Well, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to establish all these various layers of kind of hierarchy and bureaucracy, aren't they? And it's very hard, I think. I think what they struggled with there was they didn't know how to have a layer of bureaucracy above Fiona Shaw without making it hysterically mad and a bit off beam. Fiona Shaw is the pinnacle. For me. You don't want to go much higher than Fiona Shaw. And I think it's a big mistake. Because one of the things I like about the whole Killing Eve, if you like, universe, is that Kafka-esque kind of, you don't know who's at the top.
Who's at the top.
You don't know why it's going. It's a bit bureaucratic. Who's running who?
That's
who's
a good
ruling
point.
who? And I think by personalising it with a woman going nuts and rogue, and was she eating a chocolate bar or something?
It was a bit over-egging the omelette because we've already got it in Fiona Shaw.
Sometimes less is more, and I think sometimes the things you leave out, like not knowing why Constantine is doing half his stuff, is good.
And also with Fiona Shaw, they've got to take it above Fiona Shaw because, as we discovered, she could be on the side of their side.
Well,
we don't know.
You say they should, but I don't think they do. I think you keep it constantly buffering at Fiona Shaw. Yes, she's under pressure. Yes, there's someone above her. But do you show it? I disagree. I don't think you do, and I think Zoe Wanamaker was a totally wrong move.
Okay, I do too. Something's just occurred to me. Let me say this, and then if you don't agree. What it felt like last night, normally, it's as you were just saying that about Zoe Wanamaker, before you watch an episode, it's so sort of such a fine-tuned thing that you feel it's flowing, the writing and everything. Last night it felt like they were making it up as they went along.
Totally.
And things like, which in the past have been so important, Villanelle being sort of psychopathic to people on the street, kicking them over, saying, no, I can't, no, you can't take my photo, all have been hysterically funny the first time, but when we're watching her do it again and not that well...
Yes, like the woman taking the Instagram photo.
Yes, and her putting her foot out. I mean, you almost look up at the ceiling thinking, you're going to have to do better than this.
Well, and also this goes back to my major concern with Series 2, is that in Series 1, you've got so many opportunities to keep building those parts of her character that we're finding out.
Yes.
We found out everything in Season 1.
Yes,
so that if you remember, the very first scene in Episode 1 of Season 1 was in that ice cream shop.
Yes,
and she does that with the kid, and it was built beautifully.
Yeah.
And we got this totally wrong footing of this character and smiling.
Yes.
Well, you're right, the Instagram moment in this and the woman tripping up, they're there, but they serve no dramatic purpose.
No.
I liked them. I liked that. I liked those flashes of Villanelle, so I quite liked it, and I liked the beautiful dress. It's quite stylised, that first scene.
Costumes are
but
wonderful,
I actually did like that. I thought, we haven't had that this series. We haven't had her do one of those. She's been very sort of... I mean, most of the first couple of episodes, she was in dire straits, wasn't she? Like half dead, looking awful.
Very stylised pyjamas.
But no, I thought I enjoyed that this episode.
No, so obviously we're in Amsterdam, and so there's the pighead scene. Tell us about the pighead scene.
First of all, we need to know of the family. She's given the rubbish jobs now by Constantine because he has to give her those.
Yeah.
And her first rubbish job is killing this man. Who we see from the bridge. She sees him on the bridge with his family, his wife and his child, and he's just a man. We don't know who he is.
But Nadia missed that.
Yeah, it was so quick.
But if you blinked,
it was so
you would
quick.
have missed it.
Yes.
And Nadia had blinked.
Yeah. And so then
hadn't seen it.
The whole next scene where Villanelle follows him along and meets out punishment, you're sort of thinking, who the hell is this guy? Do I know this guy?
But didn't we have that? But isn't... I know you guys have got a real problem with it, and I did a bit, especially because I turned away and missed the guy on the bridge. But... isn't that just saying to us that she's just back to a common everyday assassin because she's pissed off her? So I'm just going to be killing these people and that. Not important enough.
Yeah, it does. But I feel it's straining at the edges that they're now putting pig heads on her, opening windows in hooker shops, and splitting them down like a work of art. I mean, I just think it.
I didn't have a problem with
desperate.
that either. I didn't have a problem with that either because it is still. Think of her narrative is that she is still trying to impress Eve. She's bored. She's bored. She wants to, and this
levels.
woman has really pissed her off with her neat, tidy way of killing. And she's like, "I'm back. I've got the gowns. I've got the blood. I've got the theatre."
And this was theatrical, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just think it was theatrical. I loved it.
It was. I felt it was lazy again. The moment she saw that painting in the gallery, you knew she was going to do a murder in it.
But I don't think that mattered.
It did a bit.
I don't think it was. I don't think the programme makers, the writer, I don't know who's responsible for that, but I don't think they wanted us to be unsure. There's so much we're unsure about within the story that sometimes like, oh wow, Villanelle's seen that. He's trying to get her juices going. He's a psychopath. He's taking her. He was always taking her to that photo, that painting, and I think he knows her better than she knows herself.
Yeah.
I've got this theory. What does anyone else think? I've got this theory. Nadia keeps asking. She doesn't understand why Constantine has taken her under his wing. I think Constantine's her dad.
Yeah, I mean, Mark said this earlier this morning, and I thought,
the reason they're on the road is that this is how they're going to be. At times, doesn't he remind you of some of those great French movies of this?
Yes,
like
very
Diva.
much.
Do you remember that film?
Diva. I love that
Subway.
film.
Very much.
With what's his face?
And Subway, I loved.
Yeah. And he's come from another era. That's why he's so magical and sparkly on camera. But I do think that
she adores him.
She adores him. He adores her. And
she killed him without a second thought. She
Yeah.
thought he was
Yeah,
dead,
absolutely.
and he was trying to kill her.
Yeah, like any good psychopathic mother and father and daughter relationship. I think.
Yeah, I mean, when we go back to this episode before, when he said, "You tried to kill me," and she said, "Yes, I did. I thought you were dead."
Yeah.
I said, "You shot me in the heart," and she went, "Like you taught me." And now, because Mark has said that, I'm thinking, I wonder if that was like a little clue, like right from a child. You taught me.
Yeah.
So a couple of problems I have. I think the major imbalance with this is you're right. They're inventive, the deaths. I think my struggle with them is that I think the way you've just described her desire for theatricality, attention seeking, if you like, from Eve, isn't she, Villanelle, with her murders. That kind of shores up my concerns with. It feels a bit predictable what's going on with her. But for me, the really imbalanced part of this, it feels like there's a really bad BBC drama going on with Sandra Oh and her assistant.
So awkward. It's just
it's so pedestrianly written.
Inauthentic.
Do you mean the guy, the Oxford guy?
I mean the woman that you can't stand, the woman from
the pregnant woman.
Yeah, no.
I don't even know really what she is. What is she? She's another police officer of some sort. I don't think she's performing very well, but I also don't think she's got much of a script.
She's got a great script.
She's just pointless.
Yeah, she seems so to me. But I tell you what, I didn't like also last night, that scene between Sandra Oh and the guy. Because I thought suddenly they're making this mucky, or they're turning it into this thing. And what do you exactly see now?
Oh, you mean the young man
but
with
they
the
said
chicken?
that too many times. Oh, everything's sexual. He said it in the room. He said it when they came out.
But I'm finding all of the scenes with her, not with Fiona Shaw, but all of the scenes with her and that little sort of her coterie, her team, I find unbelievable. I'm finding Sandra Oh is my biggest problem with this season. Her need to know about Villanelle, I am finding it so obviously rendered. Her sort of looks of kind of anxiety. Yeah, her desire to. There was a point where Fiona Shaw made it clear she wasn't on the case. You keep going with the ghost, and her looking at the other one. It's just a bit naff.
I don't find her that. I think she's.
I find her deeply self-conscious in this series.
No, there has to be a level. There has to be a level of manner. I would say that she is mannered, but I think in a really good way. I mean, often in that one we watched last night, I actually thought at one point towards the end, she's the only one I can't take my eyes off. Because when she's acting, when she's not acting.
Yeah, but
so
my
in
problem,
that sense,
and
I'm
my problem with the
different
script on this is, and I think it was that whole scene where he's talking about everything is sexual. I've just made a note here. I feel like the charm and the cleverness of the first series was they didn't go on about explaining the themes.
No.
We were getting engulfed in the themes of psychopathy, of envy, of desire, of lust, of love.
Yeah.
And do you remember there was that awful moment in the first season where she got out of the car and confronted her, and I thought that was such a wrong move. It was the moment, kind of the subtext of everything was sort of writ large and in the script. I think the problem with this season is they're not having the confidence of letting the viewer feel things. Feel that, why not let us just feel? Of course it's all about sex. You don't need a character standing outside a chicken shop saying it's all about sex.
Especially not him. I think he's horrible. I mean, I think
he's quite fun. I think he's a
no,
good
I don't
actor.
like
I think he's a good actor.
Yeah.
But his character is
creepy.
supposed to be.
No, I know, but
his character is supposed to be.
Yeah.
No, he's good. He's good.
But what is that called? You often talk about it in plays, when you take the thematics of a play and the playwright hasn't the confidence to let everyday conversation let it deliver it. So they go, put the theme in the let's make them say the theme.
Yeah.
And I just think it's ladling it. It's making it.
It's so soap opera. I mean, I
soap
remember
opera.
Sometimes when I was in EastEnders, I'd have to come in and I'd have to fill in or go, here we go, I'm just going to go and fill
doing a
in for
recap.
anyone that might not have watched the last 3 days, signpost everyone which way to go.
Signposting.
Which you
That's
kind of
it.
expect from a soap, but you don't want that in like our top drama. We need Phoebe Waller-Bridge woman back.
coming back. Yeah.
But you know what this is the problem with? And I've worked on shows that have gravitated from smaller channels up to the bigger channels. As soon as you go to the bigger channels, they want signposting.
Yeah.
In everything, whether it be
really
drama,
weird.
documentary, factual entertainment, they want signposts.
They treat the audience like they're
morons.
stupid. We were having this conversation at work the other day saying it's the biggest mistake.
Yeah.
Don't assume the audience is stupid. Yeah. And we know how much that happens because we work in television.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed, guys, how people do.
Yeah, it's so. Anyway, so the sort of extended final scene was in the club. She went clubbing, didn't she? In Amsterdam, drugs.
This was awful.
So Villanelle takes drugs, and I like again the idea that perhaps a drug. You assume she's taken either MDMA or ecstasy, which makes you more favourable and empathetic to people.
And she has a moment when she smiles at a woman, the woman blanks her, and she overrides 3 ecstasy tablets to go back to hate.
Yeah.
Now, ecstasy was created to induce empathy for couples that are breaking up, and it takes people to a place of such deep empathy they would like give their home, their children, whatever, to a stranger. But I love the way that she. But that would be a bit difficult if somebody didn't know about that. But she she overrides it, and then she ends up beating up this woman in the toilet because she's jumped the queue, which was good. But then Constantine just arrives and
puts her over his shoulder,
off,
which is a bit like a Carry On moment.
That was terrible.
It was a
bit
we
had a real
problem
believing how Constantine would have arrived. But we had a bit of a chat about this morning. We thought, well, obviously we don't fully understand why she's so important to him at the moment, but he must just be following her the whole time.
Because she's his daughter.
Yeah.
That could explain why.
I think it's got some connection to his daughter that's in hiding.
Yeah, right. I think maybe it has.
Or maybe he just really does need to make a lot of money out of her. Because don't forget, he's on the out now. He's not one of the 12, is he?
No.
So he needs money for the rest of his life. Well, he does talk about the money a lot. Yeah, but he gives her a bundle that big and keeps a bundle like that for himself.
Yeah, but
he's probably needing to make a lot of cash to get his daughter away and hidden, the daughter that's so that she can, so that she's safe.
I don't know. The whole thing to me.
Go on, you can let rip now. We're at the end.
felt like it was being made up as it went along. There was no sort of every scene. We'd get the dialogue, and then they'd all change location, step outside, and give us exactly the same dialogue. It was boring.
We were bored in this episode.
I found the word for me was awkward. Yeah. There was something sort of elbowy about it. It just didn't. It didn't.
And then
have
the
like
key moment, which is the moment where she confronts apparently the woman, the ghost.
Oh God, we forgot about that.
Badly.
The other assassin.
The other assassin, but we had no build up to that. No. They were so far from solving the case, and then suddenly they're standing with her in a playground.
How did she know she was in the playground?
Did we miss a whole section?
Were they going for, wow, we can suddenly shock you and turn you? You know, rather like, there's been a bit of a vogue recently, hasn't there, for a lead actor would suddenly be killed right at the beginning. Was it that? Were they trying to say to us, anything can happen? This is so loosely formatted, we can suddenly just spring something. Possibly. In which case is innovative, and maybe we should be like...
I mean, the way that they did the red dot on her face, which is very like another thing that's out at the moment, actually, who've done that. And that was a shock, because it was only that moment, because they hadn't explained it, that we realised she was the person that they were chasing.
But do you not think, like, if the programme makers were watching this now, they go, well, that's the point. On one hand, you're saying you don't want to be signposted, and then on the other hand, you're saying, oh, we didn't know where it came from, and it didn't, and maybe that.
They had to give us a clue.
But there's a difference. What I'm talking about is signposting the thematics of a show, versus you need to be orientated towards what's happening. Now, if this was a surprise, then it has to be. It'll be proven next week. Yeah. And if there was a purpose for it, suddenly, I know what you're saying. Maybe they were providing a narrative thread. That they just wanted to shock us and go, oh, it's over.
So maybe we'll start going through the next series. God, they might suddenly turn up.
We went straight from them talking, you know, with the Oxford guy, her talking and smoking a cigarette and looking all flirtatious. Is everything about sex to that with no sort of
no bridge at all.
No. It was odd.
It was odd.
I think Nadia's word is the apt word for this episode. Episode 4 is awkward.
Yeah. And also, let me just say as well, which I said earlier when we were talking, is there was masses and masses at the end. I felt the whole of the end of the film was Villanelle looking into her mirror wherever she is, and Sandra Oh looking into her mirror wherever she is. And how much of... I can take an awful lot of that if it's between two women. But how much of that can you stand?
I think the first series and some of these other episodes have been so sophisticated in what they've established. But to do that, you can't get away with it in this without it standing out. So you're right, cross-cutting between the two lead protagonists looking in a mirror.
Yeah.
That's A-level.
I thought there was a... It stopped working, hasn't it?
No, the screen off.
There was a moment where, was it in last week's episode, where they were, or the episode before, where they both stood either side of a door. I like that one because they were both.
No, but they threw
it away because they should have cut
shot through the
Yeah, exactly. That was, and also they didn't make it the whole point. I mean, that's all they seem to do in this episode.
That's all they do in this series is look into mirrors. Anyway, there we go.
So
hope it comes back. Episode 5. I want to go back to what happened in episode 2 and 3.
Yeah. Bring back Phoebe, I think.
And maybe sometimes that happens though in a drama, doesn't it? Where you just get a bit of a flabby one in the middle. So I think because people that we quite trust on here actually have said it is a fantastic series. So,
we hope
comments.
we hope it's just a bump in the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're new to the channel, please just hit the subscribe button. That'd be nice.